Alright, in this video we are going to see how to convert this HTML into Laravel template, and we would be creating custom login and logout system. So what do I mean by that? As a regular user, I want to access the home of this URL, and I won't be allowed to access until I have logged in. So to log in, I have to register myself. So let me register with the name called Agnel and agnel@gmail.com. Fast giving the password and confirm password. Click on register, and it says you are registered successfully. Click on login, and now I'm going to use the username and password which I have created just now, and click on login. Now I'll be able to access the home, and after that I want to log out from the system. Click on logout, and if I try to access the home again, it won't allow me, and it is redirecting me to the login. So here we are using the template called, and this is the template we are using. I'll leave the link of this colorlib registration form template in the description so that you can start along with me. Along with this, I left the source code for this tutorial too, so in case if you got stuck somewhere, just copy paste it and start along. Alright, let's start converting this beautiful template into Laravel template. So the first thing, make sure your XAMPP is running, and let's just open command prompt so that we can install Laravel. So to install Laravel, we have to get into the C drive, change directory, XAMPP, change directory htdocs, and then change directory Laravel projects, and here we would be creating our project, and this is going to be subscriber 4. Cool. Now let's just copy this code and paste it. I'm telling the composer create a project, download the Laravel project, and name it the folder as subscriber 4, and the preferred Laravel version is 8.6.3. Let it download. By the time we can open our phpMyAdmin where we can create our database. Now we have to get into the project, so cd subscriber 4, and now we need to add Laravel UI package. So after installing Laravel UI package, you need to install the authentication system which Laravel defaults gives you. So let this run. And after that, what you have to do is you have to type npm run dev and npm install. And now you have to type npm run dev again until you see the table. Now let's just open our PHP artisan serve. Now it will open your live server. By the time, let's just open another command prompt where we can give command. Now cd cd change directory, cd XAMPP, cd htdocs, change directory Laravel projects, change directory subscriber 4, and code I dot. This will open Visual Studio Code, and Visual Studio Code will load your subscriber 4 folder in it. And here you can see your server has been started. Now it is running in the IP address 127.0.0.1, which is nothing but localhost, and :8000 is the port name. The first thing what we have to do is we have to get into the env file and connect our database to this Laravel folder. And we have given, I think we have not created the database yet, so let's just create one. Localhost phpMyAdmin. Actually it's already running here, so we'll close this window and over here click on new. You can give the database name as subscriber 4 create, and by the time it gets created, this is the database name, and root is the default password username, and default password is blank if you are using XAMPP. Cool. And now what we need to do is we need to get into auth. So here resources, views, auth. So here we have login and we have register. Now let's just open our HTML, which is in Ep28. Now what we can do is just copy this and paste it over here, save it, and again paste it over here. Now we have to paste our assets folder. Make sure to save all your related stuff for the HTML, for example CSS files, font and images in one folder, so it will be easy for you to manage. Get into your Laravel projects. Here we have subscriber 4. Get into the public folder. You have to paste here. This is the place where you can access all your assets. Now what you can do is we are going to use the Laravel code, so blade template is must. So asset, and you have to pass your URL over here. Cool. The same way, cut this, use the blade template and call the function and paste your HTML, sorry, paste your link. Cool. The same way we have to do it for the script tag as well. Luckily we don't have much. Copy this and you have to paste it over here and paste it over here. Cool. Once this is done, we don't need this anymore. Now when there's a search for the URL, so 127, for search for login, what should happen? A login page should show up. Let's just see whether it is able to give it or not, or else we'll be creating our custom controller. So here let's just create a controller and name it as custom login. Just copy this code and paste it and click on enter, and it will create a controller for you. By the time it creates a controller, what we can do is routes, not the routes, yes, we would be using routes, but let's just open the controller first, which we have created right now, custom controller. And here we need two functions. The first function will be like login view underscore view, and it will return view, and till view, where it's in the resources, views, and inside views we have auth, inside auth we have login. So you can see inside auth we have login.blade.php. The same way we'll do it for the register as well, register, and the same way the file name is register. Now in the web.php, which is inside routes folder, you have to call the model, sorry, the controller, and when there's a search for login, when there's a call for login, the relevant function that would be triggered is login view, and this is the name. The same way for register, if there's a call for URL register, the function that would be triggered is registered view, and the relevant function that. And now let's just search for login. Actually, I think it's asset, not assets. Control H, paste, refresh, open the register, do the same. I think the log is not saved yet. Refresh, replace this with simple asset. Cool, we got it. Do the same for register. You see a problem here. If there is one change in a file, you have to do it twice. So what we do is we'll separate the header and footer in a different folder, and over here in the resources, in the views, in the auth, let's just create a new folder and call it layout, and create a new file inside it and call it as app.blade.php. Now over here we can have our header, cut this and paste it, and the footer too, cut this and paste it. In between there would be a content, so at the rate while yield, and we'll give a password which is container, and now we would surround this section with at the rate section, and we need to pass the pass key which is container, and we have opened the section and we need to close the section at the rate end the section. Now we need to extend the app, so at the rate extends. Over here we have auth, inside auth we have layout, inside layout we have app. The same is true for the login. So if I refresh, there should be no change, but you will see we need to change the title. So here again we'll have a yield and we'll call it as title, and in the register we can give start section and at the rate end section, and in between we can have a title and we'll name it as register. Actually this is title, not container. The same way copy this and get into, for login page we'll just keep email and password, and we'll remove the full name, and for login let's just remove the full name, confirm password, and we don't need this as well. So this is how the login will look like. Let's just change the title to alright. Now let's just import the table. So by default Laravel will import 4 tables for you from the database migration. So these are the 4 tables configured that will get saved or created by Laravel in the php-myadmin. Now let's just execute that php artisan migrate. Once you click this, you will see the table will be created in php-myadmin. Now it says it's migrated successfully. Let's just click on structure. You will see 4 tables, 5 tables has been created. Now if I click on users, by default some column names would be added. So you can see email is there, name is there, password is there, and what all things that we need full name. Well, let's just consider name as full name, and we have email. Yes, we do have email. Then we have password. Yes, we have password, but we don't have this section for agreement. So let's just create a column for that. So for that what we need to do is we need to create a table modifier. So here I'm creating a table modifier, and I'm named it as modify user table. So here you will find one more file which is modify user tables, and here you need to add a code. In this case it's going to be just string, and we can have this column name as agreed, AGREED, and if it is agreed then yes, if it is not agreed then no. Cool. Now what we can do is we need to type PHP artisan migrate again. So if you check the users table again, a column called agreed we would have added. Cool. Now let's just work on the register page. So once I click on submit, the data would be sent to a form on this URL. So here let's just create a route first. Here it is going to be the post route, and we can say register submit, and the relevant function is register submit, and the name is also register submit. So we'll use this name in the action attribute. So here use the template literal, and route we need to pass the name of the route. So here it is. So now right now we need to give the name properly. It should be equal to the column name, email, password, password confirmation. This is mandatory, or else it won't be able to check yours. And name is equal to agreed, and value equal to yes, and that's it. So if I click on submit, the data would go to a function, and let's just create a function now, and the function name that we have defined here is this one, and it will accept all the input field request in this variable, and let's just display it dump and die $request all. Now when I click on submit, the data, all the input field data would display, all the input fields data would be displayed in the next page. If I click on register, oh cool, there is already a validation added, so we don't have to create Laravel validation here. Register, I think it's not working. In the register method is post, and since we are using Laravel, so at the rate cross site request forgery. So it's not allowing me to click. Why is that? Let's just check. Let's just remove this. Username, my name, password, confirm password, yes, register. Cool. What I did is I just turned off the validation. So now you can see the data submitted. If I click on submit, you'll see the values. So let's just insert these values into the database. So here this will have your, this request will have your input field value. So we need to import the model. Here the model, we have it inside app just app. Inside app we have models, then we have user. We will be using the authentication, the hash and the session as well. And now let's just insert the value in the database. What we will do is, first we'll save these input field value into a variable called data. Let's just see, we need name, email, password and agreed. Cool, that's it. Now if you see, we have converted the regular text to the hash based password. So after that, what we need is, we need to send a message. We need to send a message saying that to the same page, which is register view with message registered successfully. Now we can display this message just below the submit button. And I'm saying, if there is a session and the session has a message, then display the message. Along with the message, just display the button so that we can get into the login page. Now let's just try. Vishal @gmail.com. Just copy this password, confirm password and accept it. Click on register. I think we are in the wrong file. Now we have to do it again. Password, confirm password, click on register. I think there's a mistake in the controller. Actually there should be app, password, confirm password, register. General error, field agree does not have a default value. And I believe we are passing the name as well in the register. Here we have a name and here we have a value. And if you need, we can modify the structure. Click on structure and get into the agreed and click on edit. We should find edit somewhere, change, and over here we can specify the default value, which is no, and click on save. Now let's just try again. Pass, register. Get is not supported. Confirm password, agreed, submit. Actually the data has been already inserted, that's why it's showing up. So let's try one more, which is vishal@gmail.com. Username, password, and click on register. Again there is some JS error. It's better that we hide all the JS. The data would have inserted. Just this. Click on register. If I click on register, it is showing that this get method is not supported for this route. Actually we are not using get method, we are using post method itself. I got the problem. So in the custom login, here it's not submit, here it should be view, register view. That's why it was showing the. Now we can have ravi@gmail.com. Confirm password, agree, and click on register. And now it says registered successful, and you can click on login. Now let's just see. But the agreed is no, but we have sent the agreed. This is the column name, and in the register this is the input name. Now let's work on login. Here again we need to make sure we are using @cross-site request forgery, and the action, just like we did for the submit, we have to do it for the login submit as well. So this is the URL, this is the function, and this is the name route. And in the login route, we need to use proper email and password. And if I get into login and click on register, cool, it is asking for validation. Now in the function, in the controller, let's just create a function for login submit. And now we have to get the data. Here in this case we just need two values. What we will do is we'll get only the email and password from the request, and after that here we are going to attempt and log in with the data passed. So here we have a class called auth and pass the static function attempt, and we are passing the username and password. If it succeeds, then do this. If it does not succeed, then return to the login page and show the message saying that login failed, the same way as we did for the, we don't need card footer here, we can have this just below our login button. Cool. Now if I do some random values, it won't be there, and it will show a message saying that login failed. And if you want, you can give register link here, and if I make the right URL, what should happen? It should redirect me to the home. So in the custom login, first of all, on login it should take the ID of the logged in user. After that, get the logged in user ID and use the model to access the row. If suppose the user Vishal is logged in, so get the ID 1. By this command, by this code, what happens is the whole row is stored in the user data. Since we put the user data into the session, now this whole row will be accessed across multiple pages. And after that, I want it to redirect to the home. Let's just see, we have a home. Yes, just get into the home. So let's try this email and password. Click on login. It should take you to the home. And if I click on log out, it should log me out. So let's write that code. So it's very simple. Here I'm creating a function called login logout, and it will log out from your auth class and delete all the session, and then get back to login. Now let's just define this. This is the URL, and this is the relevant function, and this is the name route. And for the dashboard, which you see here, the code is coming from resources, views, and layout, app. You should see, you should type logout, and this is the relevant route for logout. The method is force, so fine, no issues. Now if I click on logout, it should redirect me to the login page. And right now if I search for home, it should not allow me to access. So in that case, let's just create a middleware now. So this is the middleware which we are going to create. Once the middleware is created, it will be inside app, http middleware, and a login check. And before proceeding to the request, we need to make sure whether whether the user is logged in or not. If the user is logged in, then proceed to the request. If the user is not logged in, then we need to get them to the login page, or login page with message not allowed unless logged in. Now this is just this. Now we need to register this middleware in the kernel. Get into here middleware group, just make a duplicate of this, and this is a class name, and this is a nickname for the middleware, and we have to use this in the web.php. We want to know which page should get restricted, so this URL should get restricted. Now we need to create a route group, so this route group, we need to call this route group, and we need to initialize the middleware, saying that this page should not get accessed until the middleware condition is succeeded. So if I search for home, you should see the message, or you should get redirected to login. There is some error in the home. Route login is not found. Route login is not found, which is in the logout, I guess. We have used the login somewhere. Not this app. WhatsApp. Login, logout. Could be because of this login. So let's just remove that. Let's just remove the unnecessary code. Let's try again. So we can have a quick fix by getting into Web.php. Just duplicate this and give the name as login. Now if you refresh, if you search for home, it will not allow you to access it because of the middleware you have created. But if you register yourself, and let's just name this as Dave @gmail.com, Dave, password and username, click on register. Now it says you have registered successfully. Actually here it should be in the register, here it should be login. Mistakenly you have made it as register. Now one more thing, David @gmail.com, click on register. Now you should see login view is not defined. Login view, or simply what we can do is, wherever there is login view, let's just make this as login. cool. Vijay@gmail.com. Register, login. Oh, the problem is the function got also changed. Suresh@gmail.com. Click on register, login, and Suresh@gmail.com and the password. Now you will be able to access the dashboard. So if I log out and try to access the home,